Eagle Griffin Games has a game I just saw, and now I want to give you some information on it. On Mars. This is for 1 to 4 players, ages 14 and up, and should take you about 90 to 150 minutes to play. Following the successful unmanned rover missions, the United Nations established the Department of Operations and Mars Exploration, DOME. The first settlers arrived on Mars in the year 2037, and the decades after established a Mars base camp. Private exploration companies began work on the creation of the self-sustaining colony. As chief astronaut of one of these enterprises, you want to be a pioneer in the development of the biggest, most advanced colony on Mars by achieving both DOME missions goals, as well as your company's private agenda. In the beginning, you will be dependent on supplies from Earth, and will have to travel often between Mars space station and the planet's surface. As the colony expands over time, you will shift your activities to construction mines, power generators, water extractors, greenhouses, oxygen factories, and shelters. Your goal is to develop a self-sustaining colony independent of any terrestrial organization. This will require understanding the importance of water, air, power, and food, the necessities for survival. The publisher's pretty direct with that. Very direct, I think. Right to the heart of what the game is about. I like that. It gives a sense of urgency to getting shit done on Mars, if you ask me. There seems to be, over the last several years, there seems to be a small explosion on games concerning around the colonization of Mars. I think that's a good thing. I like that. I like colonization games, and Mars is naturally the next place your imagination should be leaping to. And the components that I'm seeing in this game definitely help that. The components are thematically bringing the atmosphere of this game to life. Wow, big time. And I'm not the only one that thinks that. Just looking at the reviews and previews of this game, everyone seems to be loving and fanboying over a lot of the components in this game. They look absolutely fantastic. 4 stars out of 4 there, I guess. 4 stars on what I'm seeing and what others are talking about with the components of this game. Definitely a great way to grab someone's attention and pull them into the game. Now, I've been hearing mixed reviews, I'm sorry to say, on the complexity of these rules. Most are saying that the rules of this game are a bit fidgety and overcomplicated, unfortunately. There are a few I'm reading that saying that's blown out of proportion. But I'm just telling you what's being said, and the majority is being said that this is a bit of an overcomplicated game to get your mind around. But they're also saying that once you play through a few times, and you have a better understanding actively of the rules, that is going to flow. It's going to feel easy. It's going to be understandable at that point. So you got to keep that in mind, that you are going to have to get over a learning curve hump in order to start playing and enjoying this game, from what most of the other reviewers and previewers are putting down. Yes, this is a resource game, a resource management and gathering style game. This is a worker placement game. However, interestingly enough, I'm seeing a lot of talk about there's no limit. There's no limited space. Wherever you send a worker, others can also send them there too. There's no owning of that resource spot for that turn. If there's a resource spot, there's no limit to how many meeples, how many players can get their meeples, their workers, onto that spot to gather the resource. Now that's something different. Most of the games go the other route, and these spots will have 2 or 3 areas that you can put someone, and if you miss out, then you can't get anyone there. Too bad. You have to wait till the next round, the next season, however they define the next series of turns. But in this, no. It's just like almost a free-for-all without feeling chaotic. If there's a spot and there's someone there, who cares? You can still go there. That's interesting. And it makes me want to see how that's going to play out realistically on the table during gameplay. Now, I'm seeing a lot of talk about how this cooperative, semi-cooperative at times game, how this plays, that it causes and brings forth a lot of very positive player interaction opportunities. There's a lot of times in this game where you and the other players are going to be interacting with each other. You're going to have things to do, things to trade, missions to talk about, to help each other out along the way. and that this game does it in a very, very good way. It's done very well, and it promotes a lot of inner game positive player interaction. You know, that's good. It's a cooperative game, right? So that's what it needs. But to hear so many people talking about it so positively makes me feel like they really went out of their way to complete the mission on making this a very sociable game. I think that this game was made, from what I'm reading, maybe I'm just reading between the lines here, but I'm really getting the feeling that this game was made with a deep love of the subject, not just a need to make a board game to sell and make some money. The concept, the theme of this game seems to have been well thought out. A lot of people are talking that way, and that means a lot. So many games come out so fast nowadays. You have to wonder, did somebody just slap an IP on a concept and throw it out there without any thought behind it? I'm not getting that feeling from this. From what people are talking about, writing about, and hell, even from the pictures that I'm finding about this, doesn't give me that sensation at all. This really seems to have been developed with heart in mind, a little bit of passion on the subject. And that helps out. That really comes through in anything, even a board game. If you're a fan of science, I'm not talking science fiction. No, that helps. There's nothing wrong with it. But if you're a fan of science, of exploration, of possibilities, of the future, I think this game was aimed for you. I think, the age category is teenage years, so it's not a young family game system, maybe. Perhaps for an older family system with teenagers in it or something, if you can still wrangle them into doing game nights, this might be good for all of you. But I think that's what this game that's what this game's target is at, and it looks like they did a really good job at that. But listen, I'm not trying to influence you. I'm trying to inform you. There's a huge difference. I hate influences, and you should too. Go get yourself some more information. Watch some playthroughs. Whenever you like a game, do that. Watch some playthroughs. And that'll give you a great idea whether this is something that you're going to enjoy, that your players, your family, your friends are all going to enjoy. So go, get some more information on Mars.